What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be installing our Thuren Adjustable Trac Bar. I just dropped a video a couple days ago kind of giving you a little bit of a heads up that we're going to be installing that, but I had a few moments and I thought I'd jump into it and get it started today a little bit earlier than expected. So let's dive in and get this thing started because I really want to try to get my front steering dialed in, tighten it up a little bit more. So we're going to start with the adjustable track bar, and then in the very near future, I'm going to upgrade to a heavy duty tie rod and maybe a new heavy duty drag link. But I want to start with the adjustable track bar just to see what that does first, and then we'll add the other components in a little while later. So let's get started. Okay, we're under the truck. So as you can see here, I already have a drop bracket here that came with my lift kit. Okay, so it already comes down and drops the track bar down to the level it needs to kind of correct the geometry of the lift kit that I have installed. So all we got to do is really take out these bolts here, follow the track bar down, unbolt them here as well, take that out, and then we're going to be installing the new Thuren track bar, which has a nice Heim joint at the end, real nice bushings. I mean, this is a heavy duty thick bar. So I'm really excited to get this installed and see what it does for the handling of the truck. Now it did say from the factory that says that it has been preset to the 39 and 1/16 for the radius arm for trucks 2013 and up equipped with coils. So there's no need to adjust the track bar, and the jam nut is already torqued to spec. So really I shouldn't have to mess with any of that. Now, if I need to make some slight adjustments, I can. But at least for now, we're just going to go ahead and get this track bar installed, and we're going to just see how it feels from there. Okay, so I already went in here with a little bit of yield and sprayed those two end bolts there. And I'm going to give them a few minutes here just to kind of let the yield work a little bit before we start trying to loosen them and take that track bar off. So I'll be back in just a second. Okay, before we get started, just to go over a couple tools I'm going to try using here. I have a large crescent wrench and a couple socket wrenches here, 3/4. I have a couple larger sockets here. Looks like this one is a 28 millimeter. And then I have this one here. Which one's this one? 1 1/8 or 1 1/8. They both seem to fit those nuts right there. So that should work. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get those cranked off and see if we can get this track bar off with as little effort as possible. Okay. All right, finally got those bolts out. Got the one over here off. We got the right side off. Let's just get this out of here. All right. Again, I just have the strap there to try to keep the axle nice and straight. Okay, so as you guys can see, here's the factory one I had on there. I mean, you can see it's pretty rotten inside. I mean, the seals are getting pretty bad. It's a decently thick bar from the factory. Definitely not as thick as the Thuren. But then you can see here, it goes down real thin. So it's real thin and flat, and then up here looks pretty bad too. Not that bad, but it's probably definitely needs something nice and good like this. Nice grease fitting there. I mean, the thickness of this bar is extremely noticeable compared to the thickness of that bar. There you go. So big difference there. Okay, so let's get the new one installed. Okay guys, I found out that because I am using the drop bracket on my lift kit, my track bar should be stock length. I now have to adjust this track bar to 38 7/8 to get it back to the stock length needed. So the easiest way to do it is just bolt it in so it doesn't spin, and then you just got to loosen the heim joint and then measure outlet to outlet. Just gonna get that hole lined up there. Okay. We'll let that be like that for now. Okay, so we got the first side in, got that bolt in. It's still a little bit loose, but I want to keep it that way until I can get this right side adjusted. Okay, so let's see if we can get this lined up over on this side. All right, so there we go. We are way off. So that just means that obviously when I was cranking that strap to hold it in place, I probably pulled the axle over too far. So now I just gotta undo that strap, which I already did, and then make a few adjustments, turn the steering wheel a little bit, and just kind of get things shimmied into place. So a little bit of work here, but I'll get it done. Steering wheel here for a second. Hold it right there. It's gonna try to move. Hold it all you might. Don't let it tilt. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to line something up. Almost. Just a little bit more. No, hold it. Don't let go yet. I know, just hold it for a second. Okay, so as you guys can see here, just by turning the wheel, kind of got this lined up a little bit more. Come on. Okay, let go of the wheel some. Just slowly let go of it. Right, never mind. I need to turn it more. Turn it the other way more. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Right there. all pretty tight, and all we gotta do now is get them torqued down the spec, and then we should be good. Let's get that done next. Okay, based off what I was able to read online, it seems like a lot of the torque specs for that track bar bolt are around 210 foot-pounds of torque, somewhere in that ballpark. Now, I have a mid-sized torque wrench with a 3/4 inch socket that fits, but that only goes up to 150. I got a bigger one here, but it's got a much bigger head, and I don't have the conversion socket for it. So for now, I'm just gonna have to put as much pressure on it as I possibly can and get it as tight as I possibly can, and using just some leverage, maybe the crescent wrench over here, and get this thing as tight as possible until I can go get a conversion bit there to use a better socket. Okay, so for now, we're just gonna use my medium-sized torque wrench. We got it to 150 foot-pounds of torque. We're just gonna crank it down with that for now, and till I can get a extension bit to torque it to the right spec. Okay, leave it there for now. So as you can see here, we got everything torqued as tight as we can get it for now until I get a larger socket for my larger torque wrench, and I'll get that here in the next day or two. But as you can see, that track bar looks so much nicer. Okay, so that's it, guys. For now, we are done with the Thuren track bar install. All I gotta do now is get the end bolts over here and up top there torqued to roughly about 210 foot-pounds of torque, but I have to get a new socket to be able to do that. So for now, this is good. Okay, we are under the truck. Now we're going to turn the steering wheel a few times back and forth and see how everything looks. Okay, start turning. All right. That's not moving, nice and tight. Keep going, back and forth. All right, everything looks pretty tight. Okay guys, we are done. We got the new Thuren track bar installed. Everything looks really, really tight. So everything seems to be good so far. So I'm gonna have to take this truck on a few rides, make sure everything feels tight. My steering wheel is a little bit cocked to the right now, so I'm gonna have to go back under and do a drag link adjustment. So I'll do that on another video to show you how to do that. So the Thuren track bar install went really good. I'm really happy with it. It seems a lot stronger and a lot sturdier. The track bar seems to really be doing its job. Let me just turn right here. So far though, the track bar feels really good, because most of these roads here that I drive on, there's a lot of ruts in the road and deviations in the road, and it pulls my truck left to right. So I gotta say, so far, my first initial impression is just feeling how the truck feels on the road. I don't seem to be feeling as much of that bump steer or pull from left to right driving on this road. It feels a lot more stable. So again, we're gonna have to do some more driving and testing, but so far my initial impressions are the track bar is working much better than my factory track bar, because I can feel a much tighter difference now driving on this road. So I gotta say, that's a good thing. I'm really happy about that. So if this continues to stay nice and tight like this and things are going really well, then it's probably safe to say that the money spent on the Thuren track bar was a great investment. So, all right, pulling in, and that's it, guys. So pretty happy with it so far. No complaints here. So that's it for today's video, guys. Go ahead and do me a favor, like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, because it does help me out. I do appreciate every one of you and all the support you're giving me. So as always, see you in the next video.